Hi LEGO fans, and if you're watching this video on the day of release, then happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. In recognition of this momentous day, we're going to be reviewing Luke's Landspeeder. This is the new set, and this is set number 75173 with 149 pieces. This is not the first time LEGO have released Luke's Landspeeder, and I'm going to put an image on screen right about now to show you what the previous one looked like. Unfortunately, I don't have the old set to show you these side by side, but I am pretty stoked to have this new set, and it looks like a pretty cool build, especially at the $19.99 price tag. We're actually getting 4 minifigures in here. We get Ben Kenobi, Luke Skywalker, C-3PO, and the Tusken Raider, aka Sandman as we used to call him. And yeah, it's not going to be a huge set because we've only got 149 pieces, but it does look good. The Landspeeder does look like Luke's Landspeeder from the original Star Wars Episode 4 New Hope movie. So really excited to get this built. And something else I noticed on the box here was we have this little Womp Rat. And as you might remember, Luke grew up shooting Womp Rats in his speeder on the planet of Tatooine. So that's quite a nice little nod to the original movie. Let's flip this box over and see what's on the back. So here's the back of the box. This always gives us a great idea of what's inside the box, and to be truthful, not a lot really. We've got Luke's speeder, which looks pretty cool. It does have this lift up compartment so he can store his weapons in the back there. We've got the 3 very cool minifigs who we'll take a look at in much detail in a few moments. And then also we've got our Tusken Raider, and it looks like he's chasing a rat, which of course is going to be a Womp Rat. Okay, so let's get this box opened up and we'll see what's inside. And as so often is the case with these smaller sets, we don't have a seam down here with the usual taped up end. We've got one of these thumb things, and yeah, I usually end up destroying the box, but this one is quite easy. So let's get that open and we'll see how many bags we get. Oh, those are interesting. Yes, those are going to be the ends of the speeder. So looks like we've got 2 bags of Lego in here, 1 build manual, and a bunch of stickers. We don't like stickers, Lego. We like printed pieces, but hey, it's $19.99. We're not going to get a lot here. So we've got 2 bags and some cool rounded pieces here. Okay, let's go ahead and get this built, and that's going to take us around 90 seconds. And here's the finished build. This didn't take too long to put together, and I really like the end result. The only criticism I could maybe give here on this piece is that there's no stand to put the Landspeeder on, so it's sitting on the ground here. There are some transparent sliders on the bottom, but I would have liked some kind of transparent pieces to mount the speeder on to make it look like it's hovering. But overall, I think it's a really cool build. I do think it looks like the speeder in the movie, and the minifigures are very, very cool. So let's go ahead, we'll take a look at the minifigures first, and then we'll take a look at the Landspeeder in some more detail. So first up, we've got our champion of human cyborg relations. This is C-3PO, and he's a wonderful little minifig. Really like the custom molded head, and it's nice to see some printing in there as well to highlight the eyes. We've got some great detail on the printing on the front of the body, including kind of different printing here on the legs. And if we flip him over, he's got beautiful printing on the back, and you can even see the gap in his back with all the wiring in there, and some molded detail on the back of his head. This has got to be one of LEGO's nicest renditions of C-3PO to date, and he's really cool. Next, we've got Obi-Wan Kenobi, or Old Ben as he's referred to in the movie. Really like the fact that LEGO have given us a nice shiny lightsaber handle there, and the printing on the front is very authentic to the costume worn in the movie. Let's just flip him over. We've got a little bit more printing on the back there, and as you can remember, when he first encountered Luke, he was wearing a hood, and you can see they've rendered the hood on the back of his body here in printing, which is very nice. No side printing, but let's turn our attention to that expression. And that, for me, is probably where he's let down a little bit. He looks a little bit more like George Lucas than he does like Alec Guinness, which is, no offence, George, but Alec Guinness, I think, was probably blessed more in the looks department. So this is Obi-Wan Kenobi, Old Ben, and yeah, I do like this minifigure. He's pretty cool. No expression on the back of his head there, but yeah, he's very nice. Here's our Tusken Raider, and this guy is definitely my favourite minifigure from the set. He is awesome, and he's a lot better than the early minifigures of the Tusken Raider that were released in 2002. Those came out in a set called Tusken Raider Encounter, and that was set number 7113. But they came with a head that was just a standard Lego head that was printed, whereas this has an awesome moulded and nicely printed headpiece. And that's not a mask, that is one complete piece that acts as his head. Now if we take a look at his weapon, this is his Gaddafi, or his gaffy stick, and for you Star Wars purists out there, I apologise if I've pronounced that wrong. Yeah, this is a simple weapon made up of several elements, but it does look like the weapon from the film. So turning our attention back to the minifigure, he has some really cool printing on the front, very authentic to the film. You can see he's got his belt on the front there, and some nice printing down on the legs. And if we turn him to the back, you can see the continuation of his kind of chest piece, these straps here. And that is our Tusken Raider. And then finally we have Master Luke, the young Luke Skywalker, and this is beautiful. I think they've done a great job here with the printing. We've even got some metallic printing there for his belt, printing down on the front of the trousers or the pants, and if we flip him over, you can see his utility belt on the back here, and a little bit of printing there. He's got this great hair, which is absolutely as it was in the movie. Like that very much. If we take off his hairpiece and turn him around, we have another expression on the back, looking slightly more confused. Let's put him back together, and that is our young Jedi Luke Skywalker. And finally, this little guy doesn't qualify as a minifigure or a micro figure, but he's a nice little addition. He is your standard generic Lego rat, but in the case of this speeder set, he is the Womp Rat that Luke used to shoot. And I think that's a really nice addition, a nice thought, and a nice nod to the theme of the movie, our Womp Rat. So here's the speeder, and this looks every bit the part from the movie. I'm going to throw an image up on screen just now so you can compare. And yes, it looks very much like the speeder in the movie, so that's good. It's not a particularly substantial build. We've got these clear sliders on the bottom, so it can kind of slide around in play, but I would like to have seen it built on a stand so we can see it hovering. But yeah, it's not a bad build. A little heavy on the stickered pieces for the engine parts if I'm critical, but it is what it is. It's a $20 Lego set. We're not going to get Ultimate Collector Series style from this thing, and yeah, it's absolutely what it needed to be. It's Luke's speeder. Here's the view behind the wheel of the speeder, and this is pretty simple. We've got the stickered piece in the middle there for the console and a little steering wheel for Luke, and we can see in a little bit more detail here some of the stickering we've got on the engine, and if we flip that around, we've also got some stickering on the other engine. It is quite highly reliant on stickering, this model. At the back of the speeder we have this storage compartment. This just literally pulls off and reveals a little area down here, and if we look inside, this is very cool. We've actually got the binoculars that Luke used when he was surveying the landscape of Tatooine and when he got attacked by the Sandman in the film, or I shouldn't say Sandman, he was the Turrican warrior. That's a very nice little piece. And if we put this back on, we've got another little articulation point here. This engine, actually this is really awkward. It pivots up and down. Not entirely sure why it does this. I can't really see what kind of purpose this serves, but it does, and it is pretty flimsy because when you're trying to pivot it, this engine will come off this part here, and it's just yeah, it's just not very sturdy, and I don't understand why Lego did that. I really like this curved windshield that Lego put in here. That's a nice piece, and that'd be quite useful elsewhere. Another nice feature is the way they've used these curving pieces here, these kind of tubes, to build out the grille at the front of the snow speeder, and these bend all of the way around, and that gives it a nice sleek finish on the front end. I think that's a really nice look. And finally, here's our view from the back, and you can see the axles inside the engines. You can see the way these have been put together. Also got these very cool slanty pieces here to represent the thrusters at the back, and I just think that's a nice way to present it. So that was set number 75173, and if Luke doesn't watch out, he's going to get bashed over the head by the Tusken Raider. Really hope you enjoyed this review. Hope you had a great Star Wars day on May the 4th, and thank you for joining us. If you like this video, please hit the like button down below, as that really helps. And be sure to subscribe for more great Lego content at least twice a week. We've already got loads of videos on here, and we're releasing new content all of the time. So thank you for joining us today. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.